Okay, by request today. Someone asked me this question. I get this question a lot, and they wanted me to do a topic of a Facebook Live on estimating repairs. Now, I could literally talk about estimating repairs for 6 hours, but I'm going to try and condense it. This is the Flipping and Wholesaling in New York show, so thanks for watching. So estimating repairs is something that a lot of people get scared by, right? They're afraid. I'm going to go into a property and I have no idea what it's going to cost, or I'm going to underestimate. I'm going to buy the property. It's going to cost too much. I'm going to lose money. I wish it was something I could really teach in a 10-minute Facebook Live video. I really can't, and I go into it more in depth in my course, but let me talk about what is going on with estimating repairs. So the first thing I would say is that if you haven't done a deal yet, it's something you're really going to learn by doing. But there's a few things I can teach you right now that'll be helpful. Now, remember, I've said this many times. For the first 4 years that I did this, I got rehabbed every single house. I wanted to be Tarek El Moussa from Flip or Flop, and I wanted open concept, and I wanted the best house, and my thinking was so stupid, right? Because my thinking was, my houses are going to be so nice, there's going to be no reason for anybody not to take them. That's stupid, because in truth, there's always reasons why people don't like your house, right? Forget about the work. They may not like the block. They may not like the style. They may not like the size of the bedrooms. There are so many things you cannot do to that house to make it the ultimate property that anyone's going to want. It's impossible. So I definitely did too much work. And what I learned over the last 5 years is to do as little work as possible to get your price. So I'm now going to list the things that need to be done in a house. And then I'm going to talk to you about how to get good estimates on them, because it's important for you to decide what you're doing and what you're not doing, and then you can get an estimate. Once you know what you're doing, you can go to contractors, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So these are the things that need to be done in a house before you sell it retail to an end user buyer, a regular buyer. So first, exterior. The roof does not always need to be redone, right? The roof needs to be leak-free, right? If the roof is leaking, you need to do it. I bought a house in Bayshore, and I had to do the roof. It was a fortune, but it's something I could do. I couldn't stop the leaks. The roof doesn't have to look great. The roof has to just look okay. Okay, people think, oh, I'm going to do that roof. It's foolish to always replace roofs for two reasons. First of all, it's expensive, right? But second of all, sometimes you take the roof off and you find all kinds of other problems. Oh, there's termite damage in the roof rafters and all kinds of things. You don't want to do it if you don't have to. So I'll give you an example. I had a situation where there was a roof that was just okay. I got a quote to redo the roof for $7,000. Got on buyer. Buyer did an inspection. Inspector said effective life of the roof is only 2 years, kind of thing. Buyer came to me and said, can you do the roof? I go, no, I'll give you a credit for $3,000. Buyer took it. So I saved $4,000 by not doing the roof. So always don't do the roof unless you have to do the roof. If the roof looks terrible, you need to do the roof. But if the roof just looks older, you can keep the roof. People think you need to re-side the houses. You don't need to do that, right? The siding or whatever the exterior material, it just has to look okay. It doesn't have to look great. Sometimes you want to power wash it, but the exterior just has to look clean and has to be leak-free, right? Windows, another thing on the exterior. So if it's any kind of double pane window, right? So those are the standard vinyl windows with 2 panes, I would not replace it. If it's an old single pane window or a window that doesn't open and close or lock, you may need to replace it. That's the exterior. Now the systems, the mechanical systems, the heat has to work, right? When I started, I used to take a property that was oil and convert it to gas. Stupid, right? I bought properties with new gas boilers. There was no reason for me to spend $3,000-$4,000 converting it. Are there people out there who only buy a gas house? Sure, but there's plenty of people who don't care. Electrical. So the electrical box, right? Everybody thinks, oh, I need a 200 amp service. It's bullshit, right? If the house is small, you do not need a 200 amp service. I would say you can't have fuses, right? I bought houses with fuse boxes, right? That's crazy. It needs to be all circuit breakers. It should have a main switch. But that's about it. You don't need to replace the electrical if it's okay. Now, the interior, right? This is the part that screws people over all the time. The only things that matter in the interior are the kitchen, the bathrooms, the flooring, and the walls. That's it. So I used to take walls down and make them open concept. It was so foolish. There were people who the first thing they did after they bought my house was put that wall back up. So the kitchen has to be nice. You need new cabinets. You need good countertops. Now, obviously, everything I'm saying depends on the area. So you're going to look at ARV properties, right, which is how you base your offers, your after repaired value properties, and you're going to see it. And it's going to be different if you're selling something for $300,000 and if you're selling something for $900,000, right? I see houses all the time where the builders put in chair rail and molding and all these things, and I don't think they get $1 from it, right? It looks nice. They take pride in it. It's fine. But you don't need to do that. So the kitchen has to be done. The bathrooms need to be okay. If there's a master, it should probably look good. The flooring has to be new or look new. You can put laminate down, right? It doesn't have to be wood. Laminate is great. It looks like wood. And the walls have to be clean and painted. That's it, right? Anything else that you think you're going to do, don't do. People think they should landscape. I can't tell you how many times we spend some money on landscaping, and the person came and said, "Oh, I'm ripping that up the first thing I see it." I'm like, I just put that in. It cost me $2,000. I hate that. I hate hydrangeas. I hate the arborvitaes, whatever the hell it is. Don't spend money on anything else. Those are the things you need to do. Now, obviously, look at the ARV in your area, ARV properties that are selling for the price you want, and you can decide from there. But let me give you an example. So I've done houses, higher end houses, even $600,000 houses, $700,000 houses, where there were 3 bathrooms. There was a bathroom, there was a master bathroom, there was a children's bathroom, and then there was a bathroom, let's say, in the basement. And I didn't touch the bathroom in the basement. I did the bathrooms on top, but I didn't do the bathrooms below. So obviously, it depends on your area. But you need to decide what you're doing, what you're not doing. I always do less. Always, right? When I started, I always wanted to do more. You want to do less for a few reasons. First of all, obviously, you're going to save money. Second of all, anything beyond what I just told you is probably not going to bring you any money back. And third is everything you do leads to more things. So something simple as taking a wall down can lead to a million things you never even imagined. Oh, there's a duct there. You got to move the duct work. You got to pay an HVAC guy to come in and do that. That reminds me, I got to call my HVAC guy. All right. So the electrical issue comes up. All kinds of things come up. So everything you do leads to more things. Do less, and you'll be a much happier person. You can always do that after, or if it's something that you're not sure if the buyer's going to ask you about. If he asks you about it, then you can give him a credit or take care of it later if it's necessary. So always do less. Now, if you don't know what these things cost, and most people don't, I would say you should pay a contractor to come. Right? Give him $200, $250. Get an estimate on what it's going to cost. I apologize. My phone is not stopping to ring, which I guess is good. Okay. I'm trying to put do not disturb, and it's not working. Okay. So, I think I did that. So, you want to tell a contractor, and this is what I would tell a contractor if you've never done a job before. I tell the contractor, listen, I'm starting to do rehabs. I need a contractor for it. I hope to do 5 or 6 jobs a year. Come here. I have a list of what I need done. Give me a quote on it. I can't pay retail. You must tell these guys you cannot pay retail prices. If these are guys who do work for homeowners, you cannot pay what a homeowner pays. But what you can do is you can have them come in and pay him $200. Give me an estimate. Let's go through it. And if you bring the guy over and he starts telling you all the things that he thinks you should do that you didn't have on your list, he's probably not the right guy. That happens a lot. You might need to pay 3 guys to come. 2, 4, 6, pay $600 for it. It's worth it. And then you're going to learn after you do your first rehab, your second rehab, you'll know what to do. But to come up with an estimate in the beginning, I wish I could tell you, every kitchen is $20,000. It just doesn't work like that. I'm buying a house next week where I'm going to do cabinetry and appliances, $10,000, and I plan to do it in 2 days. But there's all kinds of decisions I made about not doing the cabinet. It's a tutor. There's cabinets like by the eating area. I'm not touching them. There's all kinds of decisions I made. Somebody could look at that kitchen in 5 seconds and say I'm spending $40,000 easily. I'm going to do it for 10. But everybody's different, and this is something that I've learned over time. I have a kitchen cabinet guy. He's amazing. Takes stuff out, does it quick. He's awesome. His cabinets are great, and he's cheap, right? I have a great appliance place. They come in, they'll take the old ones out. It's just these are parts of how things work. So I wish I could tell you what a kitchen costs, but every kitchen is different. Every cabinetry, the amount of cabinets, the size. On this kitchen, I'm not doing the countertops. I'm leaving them. They're granite. But somebody else would say, no, I'm never leaving those countertops. I'm going to change them. So there's no way to know what things cost. But you want to do as little work as possible. Do only the things I told you to do, and that I mentioned earlier, and always choose to do less when the option comes up, because you can do the work later, even if it costs a little more, and you can also give credits to borrowers if it's to buyers if it's an issue for them. Always do less. And it's hard to estimate. Like I said, you might use contractors that are more than mine. It's very possible. I have 2 crews that only work for me, so it's hard to determine what you're going to get. But I think what's more important is deciding what you're going to do and what you're not going to do, and only do the things that I mentioned earlier. So, if you're interested in wholesaling or rehabbing houses in New York, flipping houses in New York, you can look above on Facebook, and it'll have the 7 ways I can help you. Below on YouTube. If you like these, please click like, comment any topics you want covered. This was by request. Someone asked about it, so I am doing it. I got to cross it off the list. I have a bunch of other requests. Any topics you want me to cover, I'll be happy to cover. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. And I hope I can help you in any way possible. My office phone number should be below. If you're interested in contacting me, you can. And I hope this was helpful. Estimating repairs.